Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video, I want to show you a couple of things that will save you a ton of time if you are new to Wix Studio. If you're making the switch from the Wix editor to the Wix Studio, or if this is your first time using Wix Studio in general, then these things should help you save a lot of time when designing your website. So the first thing that I want to show you is when you add a new section. So I'm going to go ahead and add a blank section in here. It just starts out as a blank section. You can use this grid layout here. This is a great tool to help you create different layouts and sections, and they're broken up into columns and rows. So you have, like, this is a 2-column section, 3-column, then you also have rows. You have some that are split. And so you can use these as your new section layouts and then add content into them using the quick add elements over here, like your title. Then you also have your image, and you have stacks over here. So you're just building sections, and so this is a section here, and then you have inside your section, it's broken up into cells. So you have your cell at the top, you have your cell to the right, and your cell to the left. So each of these elements, those within these cells, and then you can align these to center and get them formatted however you want. So after you do that, after you start building with sections, even if you don't use the section grid, you're going to look at these different devices up here. So tablet and mobile. And what you'll find is that a lot of times you get things looking like this on mobile, where the font is really small and the title element is small and the button and the image, it just doesn't look like it should for mobile. So the easiest thing to do is just click on the section itself. And when you click on that, you get this responsive AI. And if you click the responsive AI, it will make this section responsive on all devices. So it's going to make it look good on desktop, on tablet, on mobile. And you want to do that from the desktop device breakpoint, because it's a cascading system. And so what you do on desktop changes down all the way down through tablet and mobile. And so you want to make the changes here on the desktop section. So you can check the design first just to see what it did, and let's see how it did for mobile. It looks a lot better, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply the design. So that's something that will help you get your sections looking good on mobile. And then if it's not perfect, because sometimes it won't be, you can still customize this further. Like maybe I want my stack here to be center aligned on mobile instead of left aligned. So you can still customize this further, even though the AI did most of the work. And usually you are going to have to customize it a little bit. So the other thing that will save you a ton of time is there's a way that you can not have to deal with this really at all if you get your site style set up in the right way. And so I'll show that next. So if we look at this section here, our second section still has that small title and title here. So what's happening is in the site styles over here on the left in typography, you have these headings, and you can see this little asterisk next to the pixel. That means that this text is scaling. So when you have your desktop, that it's at a certain level, but then when you have tablet and mobile, it's going to be at a different level of pixels. The pixel is going to be smaller. And so right now my min and max for my pixels is not set. So I can set this here one time so that it'll be set for the rest of the website, and they'll all have consistent pixel sizes. So if I was going to do this for paragraph 1, I actually might change this to 18 pixels and then have my minimum be 18 pixels, because I don't want it to get any smaller than that. So I just have to set this once, and then it will work on all the devices. Same with my paragraph 2. If I change this to 16 pixels and then I go down to my min, I don't want it to go less than 16 pixels, then that should apply. And then with paragraph 3, I could set this to 14 and then my min max to 14. And then obviously on the headings, you're going to have more of a ratio, so you might actually put in a max, but let's see what happens here. Okay, so if we look at this now, you can see that even though it's not styled right, my text is maintaining the same size here because my min is set. So I don't have to go in and set this every single time now. Now it's always going to be 16, and so at least the paragraph text is set up. But I would actually recommend taking off the scale text for the paragraph styles because I like them to be the same on all devices. The headings are a little bit different, so I would just take these off, and then you don't have to worry about min-max at all when you're working with text elements, because it's a real pain if you have to go in there and configure it and set it every time and that kind of thing. And then you would want to do this with your headings. You might want to set a min-max. So maybe for your heading 1, your minimum is 36 pixels. Your maximum, I might just leave that blank. And then you could go down and do this one. You could set your heading 2 at something like 48, and the minimum is 32 pixels, right? So that on mobile, we're going to get our headings at this set amount. So you can see these headings now are set there. And so if I click into this, the min-max is set to 32, so it's going to be on 32. So that'll save you a lot of time. Now, of course, we still need to do the responsive AI for all these sections. You can tell they still look like garbage. This section looks okay. These two do not. So I'm going to go ahead and generate another responsive AI here and let it do its magic. And then we can mess with it after that. And then we'll do that last and final section. And you have to keep the tab open here for this to work. If you click off to another tab up here, it's weird this way, but it won't just keep going. You have to stay inside of Wix Studio, but that's the way it works. So I'm going to check this. So we have this one, then we have this one. So I'm going to apply. Okay. So yeah, this is starting to look better. And then we can go in and change every element if we need to. And we can add padding and things like that to our site. So, but for the basics, these are critical things to know just to get your site to look better on mobile. And again here, we need this to be center aligned. So we're going to go in and customize this center align. So now our mobile is starting to look a bit better. And I don't like this title here and then everything. So even though that was the section, I'm going to get rid of this little cell inside my section. So we have something like this. And so I like this much better. So image, heading, paragraph, button, image, heading, paragraph, button. And same with this one. I don't like this setup here. Get rid of that cell. And then we would just go like this, generate now. And then it's going to generate our design again, and we're going to have to customize it a little bit. So those are two big things: getting the site style set up and getting your min-max set if you want to use scale text, or taking it off for the paragraphs like I do. I didn't do the rest of the headers just for the sake of time, but you could go in and do heading 3 and set this, and then heading 4 and heading 5 and heading 6. And then the other thing is just getting these sections to be, how you want them. So that comes down to the padding and everything you give. So I'm just going to do this in percentages. So we have 6% around this section. We're going to have 6% around this section as well. So I'm just doing the padding of these sections, and that's giving them a little bit of space. And then I'm just aligning different things within my cells. I'm not sure why that's snapping to there, but we'll go with it for now. And okay, we'll do 10% here. Or 6%. Oh, wrong place here. I was on the cell. So that's why it's so important to make sure you're editing the right section or element. And then I might give this a little bit more room. I think it's just the section height was a little too low. Same here. So has a little bit more room. So you can see this gives these sections a bit more space, and you can also flip these grids. Let's see if it'll do it this way. You can do it this way. So if I wanted it to go image and then text on this side, then you can do that as well. So it kind of alternates there. Okay, so now that I have this set up, I think it looks a lot better on mobile now because we used responsive AI and because we had our headings set here. So this one was a heading 3, whereas this one is a heading 2. So that's the reason that one is being our weird one here. So we need this one to actually be heading 2. And then it's going to automatically adopt that heading size that we had. Okay, so let's take a quick preview. So that's looking much better. And I think that one might be a different heading title as well. Let's take a look. So it is heading 2. So we might want this to be heading 1. Oh, and it just updated all of our breakpoints. Or heading 2. Okay, so there we have our 3 sections. What we did is we just added the sections using the section grid. We added some quick add elements here, the image, the stack. We used the responsive AI button on our section to get it to look somewhat good across all devices. And then we added some padding to our section here. So we clicked on our section, added some padding. And you can add padding within the cells too. So there's padding at different levels. So if I'm adding padding here, now I have some padding around this cell to the image. You can also do that. And these are just very, very basic things. Wix Studio is very complex and there's a lot more to learn about how to use it. But in my conversations with different people who are using Wix Studio, different clients have helped and things like that. A lot of them didn't know about the responsive AI that you could use, or they didn't know about the padding or setting the site styles and getting their text to look better, and so that every time they add a text element, it's not looking so tiny like it was at the beginning. So this is going to save you a ton of time and maybe some heartache if you're starting out and like, why is it doing this? Why can't I get it to look like this? Hopefully this has been helpful for you. So that's what I have for today's video, and I will see you in the next video.